Righty, I'll need to open the stream again just so I can see the picks and bans. Because if you don't know, guys, Hexit streams. Pulse is sat in the game, and I am Billy No Mates watching the stream. So there you go. There's only 2 spectator spots, and they're already taken.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure it is just left on those 2 spectator spots. It's kind of frustrating sometimes.
It is. It definitely is. But at least it's easily. I was going to say get-aroundable, but that's not even English. I don't even know why I wrote that. It's easily solved, let's put it that way. Yeah. I can just watch the stream and it's all good. So it looks like we're actually in the picks and bans. Sona, Orianna, Rengar and Jace all banned out. And Rengar has been somewhat of a terror in solo queue, at least recently. He is so strong.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree. And Vladimir being banned out here. I believe we actually had some banter before, and I think this may be true, that someone's computer lags out when someone plays Vladimir.
Really?
So, yeah, banning that one out so, you know, they don't have an ally crashing on them. Yeah,
someone's computer lags out when they play Vladimir?
Yeah, like their frame rate just goes to like 10.
Okay, I guess we've seen a couple ultimates today from Jarvan that didn't make a lot of sense, so why the hell not? Yeah, Vladimir bugs and crashes PCs. I can buy that now. We've seen an Udyr just walk through Cataclysm, so anything's possible at this point.
Yep. There's nothing really to add to that. It's just like crazy things happening all over the place. Could be in an alternate universe. We might be asleep. This could be a dream.
It very well could be. It is getting pretty late, but we do have Skarner and Ezreal, and again, it's a similar story in solo queue, guys. That Ezreal is either banned or he's first picked. That's kind of the way that I see it now. He's definitely, if he's not the best AD out there, he's in the top 2 or 3 for sure. I don't know what your take on that is, Pulse.
I definitely feel like Ezreal is just at the very top because he pretty much just outclasses every other AD carry. Like, if there's something that someone does better, maybe Graves with the extra burst at level 6, but that's all I can really muster.
Yeah, Graves is incredibly strong as well, but I just feel like Ezreal has that kind of, he packs that kind of punch where he can just melt through players on a kind of one-on-one basis, or in team fights obviously he's got the True Shot Barrage, and he's also got the Essence Flux, which does a lot of AoE damage when you have a Sheen and a Trinity Force, so he adds a lot. We are going to have a Sivir pick from Candy Panda, which is really interesting actually. Sivir is one of those ADs that I've always loved, and I don't think that she really gets the kind of love that she deserves. She's a very good AD carry.
Yeah, we actually saw Sivir and the Sivir and Ahri combo. What is happening? Like the Sivir and Zyra, you know, Zyra and, you know, she's a plant, and then Ahri is like a fox, you know.
That doesn't make any sense, dude. And I don't feel so bad for getting around about whatever I said before.
Was it Maokai and Malphite?
Malphite.
I can actually see, you know, what could happen. I don't even know where like freaking Zyra and Ahri came from. We will, yeah, the Zyra and the Sivir combo down at the bottom, we have seen that earlier today, and the burst damage is incredible. Just from the bases and the boomerang blade, it's just incredible. Landing that grasping roots into the boomerang combo, just the main as a harass, is ridiculous.
Yeah, I can't really add anything to that. At level 6 as well, you have the huge steroid of On the Hunt, which Sivir brings to the table. It's incredibly strong for taking down towers from giving chase or just escaping. It's such a good utility spell for your entire team. Oh, we're going to see a Sion. I love to see me a Sion. And a Zillion! Wow.
Wow. We actually wow, I can't remember. I think this might be an exact copy of the composition Fnatic were running earlier today. You had the Sion top, you had the Zillion mid. I can't remember who was in the jungle. We will have Scotland this game, and then like the Sivir and then the Zyra bottom. Basically, what happened was Sion became, I wouldn't say fed, but he was winning his lane, and then he was just unstoppable. He became literally a raid boss, and he was 1v4ing Zillion, just basically keeping him alive, allowing the basically the gap closer. And of course, yeah, we did have the Sivir because we were talking about the ultimate also synergizing with Sion, the extra attack speed, the extra movement speed, allowing him in some reverse kind of way a gap closer.
I am amazed by this comp, but you know what? This could be so strong, man. Because you've got Sion's ultimate, which of course is going to give everyone lifesteal, and then Sivir's ultimate, which gives everyone attack speed and movement speed. So put the two together, and That's terrifying, actually. Was Sion playing AD, I assume, at top
AD,
lane, or was
yeah,
he going
yeah.
AP? Okay, so AD Sion is very, very strong, actually, in the right hands, and obviously it goes without saying that Soaz is the right person to, to be the puppeteer, so to speak, by controlling Sion. So it's an incredibly interesting composition, and then you've got Skarner in amongst it all, with Peke once again in mid with Zillion, who did such a phenomenal job last time against Ari. So on paper, it looks so strong.
Yeah, we also have the Nidalee pickup here as well, which is super interesting. And that's on Frelenord, so I would assume that's AP. He's also gone for Ghost, someone that we don't see too often, obviously looking for the mobility, and that raises the question whether he's going AD or AP.
Wow. So Frelenord is going Nidalee. Obviously, he is the mid player for Ultimate, so I would assume it's going to be AP Nidalee. Perhaps it's a case that they... I'm not sure. Do you think they may think that Sion's in mid?
I took a quick look at Frelenord's Runes of Masteries, and he is indeed going AP. No resistances, just straight up damage with the magic penetration, increased flat ability power, and then scaling ability power, and then just like standard masteries for APs. Well, I guess that's what they're predicting. But then where's the Zillion going to go? It's like a really confusing composition. But
yeah, especially as Zillion just played in the previous game mid. So I mean, the obvious kind of decision to come to therefore is that Peke's taking Zillion mid again, in which case Soaz has Sion at top. But do they potentially think that they're trying something a bit different here with Skarner at top and Sion in jungle? Because Sion jungle is actually pretty damn strong. So
yeah.
it's one of those kind of situations where you don't... I would love to be able to hear Alternate's Vent or TS right now.
We're gonna have to carry on this conversation when we launch into the game, so we do have to jump to a quick commercial break, and when we get back, guys, we'll be in the final game for today between Alternate and Fnatic RC. See you soon. Hello and welcome back, guys, to the All or Nothing Invitationals number 2, 1,000 euros up for grabs today. It has been a long day. It is the final game between Alternate and Fnatic. I am Pulse, and I am joined by Metas. How are you doing, dude?
I am interested. I also am tired myself. It's getting on a bit, but this is definitely the final game of tonight's proceedings, regardless of what happens. We are in the third out of the possible three. The grand finals, as Paul said before, €1,000 to the winner. And an interesting composition from both teams, actually. You have a Nidalee in mid, at least that's what we're assuming for Ellen Lord, which is going to be AP. And you also have Soaz on Sion, which is going to be AD top. So expect fireworks this game, guys. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to have a lot of fun casting this game.
Yeah, definitely. So last time we saw this composition, we really had them kind of snowballing out of control, but they really just grouped up and tried to get to that position where they could utilize their composition as fast as possible. I would expect the same this game, because they have so much synergy, it would make no sense to really like stop and try and just stay in that laning phase when you can utilize that amazing strength they have of us as a team. I'm going to stop talking for a bit, because I'm going to discontinue this sentence.
Fair enough. I was going to ask you a question, though. Are you good to answer a question?
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Okay. You're the resident theory craft out of the two of us. I'm more of just an all-out caster, and you're more like you like to analyze things. I am really curious as to what your feelings on Nidalee are, because Nidalee mid AP, she's typically one of those kind of characters you take it top and you just try and push top lane and like split push all day long. In mid, is she still viable in that sense, or do you expect her to just be the pokey kind of champion that's throwing spears here, there, and everywhere and trying to crit people down to half HP?
This is something we haven't seen since like season 1. This is kind of it's basically amazing. As you said, we generally, if we do see a Nidalee, we'll see a top lane AD, and basically looking for that Cougar form and the massive burst damage when he hits 6. With mid, it seems kind of like risky, because obviously the heal was nerfed, with all the heal nerfs on most of the supports. But she does have the fact that she has basically what are free wards. She has like the traps all over the place. So she doesn't. Well, she does need the wards, but it basically prevents herself from being ganked, and also they deal some pretty significant damage. If you put it aggressively in enemy jungle, you're going to know where the position of the enemy jungler, that being Skarner, is at pretty much all times. If you have it at the right positions, basically you put it at the usual warding spots in those bushes. But in mid, like, her harass is generally based on these spears, or just the auto attacks, and spears are very hard to land, especially on Zinni, who's going to be fairly mobile and behind the minions as well. He can kind of suppress a lot of AP mids, so this Nidalee pick is very interesting to me, and I basically just have to see how it turns out. We could see a gank on top, Cyanide with that double buff, looking to do something onto Kerp.
He is indeed waiting, but right now he's kind of in that limbo moment where he must be thinking to himself, do I stay here, do I go, what am I doing, am I wasting my time? It could be a case that maybe Soaz is going to try and to bait Kerp out here. And here comes Cyanide, actually a bit prematurely. Alistair, in the meantime, actually is behind him, so headbutting him away out of that position. I think Irelia may have actually known Pulse, because Irelia had dinged to 3, and Soaz was still 2, and they've been like face-to-face, nose-to-nose the entire time, so she must have known that something was soaking up a bit of XP there.
Definitely. That being said, the wave was pushing, so there's going to be less XP, but it's definitely possible, because a lot of top laners know exactly how to control the minions, how much XP they're going to be receiving, so that's definitely something that could have happened. Generally seeing that more with lane ganks, and to be honest, he was really close. So when it was like super obvious, obviously because we just mentioned that the wave was pushing it, but it's definitely something that could have been going through the mind of Kerp.
Alrighty, so it looks like we could have another gank actually attempt at top. It's going to be Cyanide once again. Alistair is in hot pursuit, but it looks like Kerp is going to be just fine regardless. And now Alistair is assuming that position, going to go for the headbutt pulverized combination, and the Equilibrium Strike. Ignite has been popped off on towards Cyanide. Nice blocking attempt there from Soaz, but it's not going to be enough, and now he's in the firing line. Can he get away from this? Shield has been put up there, and the double buff is on Kerp once again. A carbon copy of last game, where Kerp got double buff. Going to be jumping back on towards Soaz. Oh, the pulverize so nearly landing. Had it have landed, that would have been a definitely dead Soaz, but instead he will be just fine. But double buff on Kerp once again. This is Soaz must be like, cheers Cyanide, thanks a lot mate, 2 games running.
Good guy Cyanide, as we see a potential dive here. Here's the heal bait, potentially a kill onto Kerp, reclaiming this double buff. Driven back in with the Blade Surge, Rocket looking to dive, but he's taking huge amounts of damage. Soaz with more auto attack, Cyanide looking to reclaim this, though he will not be tagging him. 1-for-1 trade so far, as he starts trading off with Kerp. Xpeki also there as well, Kerp trading off. Double buff, potentially picking up another kill onto Cyanide. Bomb will be ticking off in just a second, and blocked by the minions, forming a wall between him and Cyanide.
Oh man, that must have been ass-clinchingly frustrating to pick up there. He was so close to picking up that kill. And he made the right play, Pulse, because he knew he was going to die. So it's just a case of, I'm going to die, I want to take Cyanide down with me while I'm doing it. Unfortunately for him, no, wasn't able to do so. So Peke is going to go back towards the mid lane, and he has double buffs. And now for Eleanor, it's like, oh my god. Blue on Zilean is a lot of harassment. He is going to be able to do it, the time bombs, over and over again. And of course he's got nice cooldown reduction regardless because he has the rewind, so it's just constant spamming all day long. Here comes Soaz, and meanwhile actually from the mid the time warp has been put down on towards Ferelden. The stun comes out but actually lands onto a minion there, strangely enough, as the Cougar form is enough to get Ferelden out of dodge. And that gank was successful in the sense
because meanwhile Boston Frogget looking for the gank will get the pulverize onto N-rated as he flashes away, but this should be counter-initiate as Candy Panda gets out of there with a fantastic shield blocking that headbutt. He would be good to go.
That's what Sivir brings to the table, though, Paul. She can block. In fact, she's been re-engaged, but here comes Skarner. In the meantime, Cyanide does have his ultimate, pops it off on towards Frogget. Frogget goes down very, very quickly, courtesy of the Boomerang Blade, but Cyanide will be picking that one up. And a nice little bait there from Candy Panda, and Leo from Korea did actually bite. So jump back in with Zenith Blade, and the rest is history. And as I was going to say before, this is the reason why Sivir is such a good pick, that she can just pop up that spell shield, and she is just immune. And especially against Ferelden Lord here, who is actually going to come under heavy attack from Zilean, who popped his flash, I believe. Did I see that right?
Yeah, he did. He was looking to double bomb, but I think he realized he was he out of mana or was he out of range?
I think he was just out of mana.
Right.
Maybe a bit of column A, a bit of column B. It could have actually been both. But it was very, very aggressive play from Peke. But yeah, especially against Nidalee as well. Sivir is very strong against Nidalee because you can just block the Javelin, and also any traps that Nidalee puts on the floor is just free mana. It's the same as like playing against Caitlyn.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, that will put it on cooldown, so you got to be careful when you use it. But definitely, that is free mana. And in those sorts of teamfight situations, it's just like, oh, there's a trap. That's free mana, so I can throw another Boomerang Blade at you. So we will have a Ferelden potentially picking up this blue buff right here as well. But obviously, the problem with Nidalee is a lot of her damage is focused around that spear. It gives you great pushing capability, but you have to land it, and it's kind of like difficult to land. It's a bit like a Blitzcrank grab. They're quite unreliable at times as well.
That is true, indeed, and it's been quite an unreliable day for Ultimates, as we said earlier, so it's another thing to factor into things. But either way, we do have a ping coming down towards bot lane. Frogget on Alistar. Don't think he was attempting for a gank, because if he did, then he wasn't very deceptive about it. Just kind of walked right in the middle of the lane. More than likely just going to try and soak up some of this XP until Ezreal gets back. We have Skarner stealing Wraiths, and Alistar is actually a fair amount behind Skarner at this point. Alistar just managed to ding himself up to 6, and Skarner is already halfway through 7. So yeah, Frogget's not having the greatest of games here. Yeah,
definitely. So right now, top, Sion's trading off against Kirp. He just popped his ultimate, and basically he was down to about, what, 60% HP? Just regened it all back, just didn't care, and then started hitting Kirp in the face. It's like, there's nothing he could do about it, and he's on a fairly low cooldown as well, 1 minute 30. So when it just gets to this trading situation, I guess Transcendent Blade also looking for that sustain. I'm not entirely sure if Kirp actually saw Soaz juke back into the brush. He's trying to freeze the lane right there. But I think he's not close enough, really, for kill potential for Soaz, right? However, Skarner coming in from the side as well, looking potentially for that lane gank. And I really just kind of saying hi to Skarner. Guys telling him stop freezing the lane so he can gank him.
Again, back to before, he was a good guy with a chase, but I don't think he's going to give away a free kill. I don't think he's that nice. Either way, we can have some action on Zilean in mid lane. He's going to try and retaliate with a bit of time bomb. Very, very nearly takes down Ferelden Lord actually, but there goes the heal.
Boss of Stranglethorns comes out, knocking up the Leona, and Ezreal will be arcane shifting out of it. He will be safe, but once again, that's dominance from the N-rated on the Zyra and the Sivir combination.
It is very, very strong. How's the CS actually looking? Oh, Ezreal takes the full brunt of that Boomerang Blade. In the meantime, at top lane, we do have Soaz going down, courtesy of Alistar and also Irelia. And now we're going to have more action in mid, just all over the map right now. And Skarner takes down Nidalee without the assist coming in from Peke.
Wow.
Top lane, more action. Sivir is going to take down Ezreal. Oh my god, all 3 lanes consecutively getting kills.
he was just trying to farm, and he was just boomerang blade from nowhere, and did way more damage than I was expecting, and probably Ezreal as well. Potentially Leo from Korea being picked up here, ultimate being popped by Candy Panda, looking for that CC from N-rated, flash into Grasping Root, cutting the vision though, and there's the plan, keeping the vision alive, so Candy Panda can pick up that quick and easy kill onto Leona, as they return just to one-hit the turret.
Sivir is looking incredibly strong. 84 CS to Ezreal's 57, 2-0 and 1. What is the difference in gold at this point? You have Sivir 3.8k, Ezreal 2.3. That is a huge, colossal difference at bot lane for those AD carries. And Sivir is incredibly strong late game as well. She's just going to get stronger and stronger as this match progresses.
Yeah, that was one of the jankiest, double wards coming in from both top lanes at the exact same spot at the exact same time. Yeah, very interesting. I don't know why that appeals to me, but it just did. But at bottom lane, I don't know, I've never really seen a kill like that in top tier play, where it's just like, he's just farming away, and like the other guy's farming, he just throws like a Piltover or like a Boomerang Blade in this case, and just kills him. And just the way it happened was just like really amusing to me. Okay, yeah, I'm weird.
You wouldn't expect it from Matt Lex, because he must know that it's coming. He must be able to, see the way that Sivir is moving and be like, hey, the Boomerang Blade is probably going to smash me in the face in T-minus 3 seconds, so I should move. Maybe it's a case that he misjudged the mana that Sivir had left. I didn't actually see it myself. Was Sivir on low mana?
No, it was just kind of like they were just both farming away, and it was just like, oh, it's going through minions, that should be fine, and just died.
Oh, mid lane. We do actually have an engage coming down here. Lord will be jumping away once again with the Cougar form. The Unbreakable Wolf from Frogget has also been popped off here. Is it going to be enough to survive? I don't think so. Time Bomb is going to take down. It will be blowing up there. So as catches a Javelin in the face, but with his ultimate and a Vampire Accept, he's going to be just fine. Meanwhile, in bot, I should say, it's going to be 2 kills for the bot lane of Fnatic, who continue to stamp their dominance, and it's going to be Sivir picking that one up, and this is going to be a free dragon, so it is just getting really, really scary at this point for Alternate.
Boaz jumping into the fray, could be picked up by Kerp and Freljord, who was on very low mana. Kerp unable to really contest, and this should be the Drake right here. Fairly uncontested. Silent also around the corner just to kind of zone them out. Kerp going quite far into them though. They will be backing off, so they should be safe, but they might be able to turn this around onto Kerp if Kerp's not careful. Fallback ping comes down. They do have like 3 people around the area, and he's going to go ahead and back off. Yeah, so very interesting couple of minutes, and right now it just looks like Fnatic really are starting to pull ahead from a very sort of shaky start.
And I have a correction to make. Soaz didn't just have a Vampire Acceptor, he has Wriggled's Lantern, which is even better for him. So his ultimate and Wriggled's Lantern is a lot of lifesteal. He's also quite tanky at this point. And of course, he has tried to put as many points as in Rage, I should say, as he possibly can, which is going to give him AD and also health. So he is looking quite tanky at this point, and he's doing a lot of damage. And as we said before in Champion Select, Pauls, when you put On the Hunt plus the ultimate from Sion, which of course is cannibalism, that's a lot of damage, it's a lot of lifesteal, and it's very, very scary for Alternate, who are already falling behind by 5k after just 13.5 minutes.
Yeah, the thing with this composition, actually, meanwhile in mid, hold that thought, because Xpeke will be turning his attention to Freljord as Freljord chases after a nice spear, will be picking up that kill. Sunlight still trading with him, rather, I should say. Fracture comes out as well, and also, I wanted to mention before, but I never really got around to it, was that Sunlight puts a point into Fracture very early. I think he did that at level 3. This is something you don't... Ow, the damage from the javelins are starting to hurt, and meanwhile, top Soa's trading off of Cut. One more auto attack will do it, but he will be keeping alive for the cannibalism, but the sustain as well from Kerp. It's just sustain versus sustain.
We are going to have an engage actually. Leona catches the Zenith Blade and the Shield of Daybreak, popping off the ultimate as well, but she's taking so much damage. Ezreal was slightly out of position, was forced to just pop off the True Shot barrage, so couldn't follow up with any Mystic Shots or anything else, but we do have Nidalee running down now, and also Alistar, so this could be all she wrote for Candy Panda, and then Rated, who've had things all their way at bot lane, but could be tables turning here. Needs to be careful they don't give a kill away to Candy Panda. It does a lot of damage, deceptively so, but he is going down regardless. Ezreal's going to be picking up that kill. Nicely done from Alistar, and in the meantime, Nidalee will be finishing off and picking up the pieces onto N-rated. So the bot lane dominance has just came to an end, and that is going to be a shutdown from Metal X onto Candy Panda, who picks himself up an additional 366 gold.
Yeah, we were just saying that Fnatic are pulling ahead, but that being said, they have just reclaimed a couple of kills. Xpeke being super ballsy, jumping into 3 of them, potentially 4 of them as one person recalls. Grizzly goes down and picking up a kill with the bomb. They are waiting for his ultimate just to tick off so they can finish him off. Ignite goes down, and that is a dead Xpeke.
Oh man, that was so well played from Metalex. He waited and he waited and he waited for the right time to press Ignite. And, well, it's just timing all over, isn't it? So, a questionable boomerang blade that he received earlier that could have been a mistake, but he has played very well just then, picking up 2 kills in as many minutes and pulling his way back into bot lane. Also important to note that top lane, earlier on, Soaz did die to Kerp, and Kerp's really smart actually. He's picked up the Ignite against Soaz, so he knew that, you know, Soaz is going to have a lot of lifesteal at top lane. So as soon as Soaz pops off cannibalism, he just ignites him, and that's a lot of his lifesteal completely taken out of the equation.
Yeah, definitely. We could potentially see a dive here. I'm not sure if Cyanide just hurt himself. It's quite possible. Around that area, Frogger as well. I really just saying feed in chat. Probably expecting Cyanide to give him another double buff. He so often likes to do. But Frogger around that, it's going to be a 2 versus 3 at the best of times. Not sure if he knows N-Rated's there. Looking for the potential follow-up. There it is. Grasping Roots comes down. Frogger from the side as well. Into the Impale from Cyanide. Jumping onto Frogger. Grasping Root into the Strangle Thorns from N-Rated, picking up that kill. They're probably just laughing at Irelia. As Irelia was so confident and cocky in that situation and will be immediately picked up.
Yeah.
And they will be pushing down that top turret.
It's another situation. Oh, in fact, hold on a second. Solofla has been landed. Beautiful play there. Stunning XPK out. Now going to be jumping back onto once again with the Shield of Daybreak. He is getting very, very low. Cougar Form will be able to finish that one off as Throne Lord will pounce onto Zilean, taking the old man down. But here comes Cyanide in the meantime. Impale was used previously, so they know that is not any threat at the moment. They can be a bit more ballsy, a bit more aggressive around Cyanide, but they still have to be very wary and careful of Candy Panda, who does have the Bloodthirster and 25 stacks on it already. He's doing a lot of damage, but here comes Freljord Lord with so much burst. That's incredible coming out from him. And really nice play, actually, being able to hold off that tower from falling just for a couple more minutes.
Cougar Form really is deceptive in the amount of damage it does. It does a huge amount of damage just base, because it increases the damage the lower the person is. And just, yeah, we will have a spear coming out as well. N-Rated is going to be careful, we'll be hitting the trap, granting the vision, so Irelia can Blade Surge into the Equilibrium Strike, and Frogger picking that one up with the with the trample, it looked like. Meanwhile, bottom Mesox will be trading off with Candy Panda and Cyanide straight into that turret. Kind of Arcane shifted into it, which was interesting. I wouldn't say that's the best of moves in a 2v1 situation, to increase the pain on yourself by jumping into their turret, but each to their own, I guess.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, Impale was on cooldown, so it wasn't even Impale that was used there. Metalex was just well and truly caught out of position with his pants around his ankles. Nothing much he could really do there. So, unfortunately for him, Candy Panda is going to go ahead and get free farm at bot lane once again. How is the CS looking? 150 to 132 in Fnatic's favour, but the gap is being ever so slowly bridged. I mean, there's still 4.4k behind on gold as I'm speaking, but the kills difference isn't a great deal. Having said that, though, they are 2 towers ahead, so again, this map dominance starts to come into effect.
Really, we haven't seen like a straight-up team fight, and right now, I get the feeling so, as despite being 3-3, at 120 CS, he's really, really scary. And in fact, he has that lifesteal, which will be healing his team as well. And it's really interesting because XPK obviously has that Chrono Shift, and Candy Panda's doing really well as well. Who do they focus? Because if they don't focus Sound, he's going to be healing the entire team. Massive regen, massive damage. If they don't focus to Sivir, it's Sivir. Like basically huge damage from that early mid game with that Boomerang Blade, and it's still the AD carry. He is like your top priority target. You have 2 massive damage dealers and one with a lot of stain who is also very tanky. The thing with Sana is he's also very balls deep. You have to do well with him early game. As long as you do okay, he has a lot of base to follow up with. So yeah, the first couple team fights will be very interesting to see how they unfold.
I mean, the scary thing from Alternate's point of view right now and their perspective, in fact, this could be a trade. You know, I think Fnatic are like, they're going, Drake, we do not care. We're just going to take Baron. That is a good trade for us. And they're going to be popping off on the hunt and everything else in the kitchen sink. They're going to throw a Baron here. Already below 50% health, 25% health now. And this is going to be going down very, very quickly. And in fact, wow, Alternate didn't even go for Drake after all. Now, they're only just getting to it now. That was a head scratcher.
And now they're just realizing, oh, they took Baron. And that's the thing with Sion. The massive regen means you can sneak it with probably 3 people. Even, wow, the damage onto N-Rated. Chunking them down to like 20% with a single max range spear. That is absolutely disgusting damage from Freljord Lord.
But it just goes to show again that Fnatic, their decision making is so strong. They almost just said, okay, go ahead and take it. In fact, hold that for a second, because Cyanide has engaged on towards Freljord, popping off the Impale, taking a lot of damage in the backside for his troubles. And meanwhile, Irelia is going to be popping off Transcendent Blades, kind of out of position, though, waiting for the cavalry to arrive. Here comes Frogger, flashing and pulverizing as well. Lots and lots of damage being utilized. The plants, in the meantime, are going to be trying to nuke down players here, there, and everywhere. Frogger finally goes down from Zyra. Lots and lots of damage being exchanged on towards Cyanide. Ignite has burst down, finally gets dropped, and now Metalex is going to try his best to clean things up nicely here. Soaz still has a fair amount of health to play with. He's going to be trying to chunk through players. Gets the kill on towards Irelia. Picks up the triple kill. That Cannibalize is so strong, alongside her shield as well, and the Cryptic Gaze, and now just Leona remains. Can she escape from this situation? She is running the wrong way. Nice Zenith Blade back on towards Peke, but it is going to be the ace regardless, so that's a 5-for-3 exchange, and that was another team fight, Pulse, that was kind of messy to start with.
Yeah, basically Cyanide wanted to initiate, and everyone else was running after Irelia, and it was just like, guys, I've caught O. And he realized no one else was with him, and he had to back off. But he still had Freljord in his grasp, and he was like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? Like, he can't just drop Nidalee. Like, it wasn't Nidalee, wasn't it, who he impaled?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was.
Like you say, though, it would be kind of cool if you could just drop, if you're like, abort, this was a bad idea. Can I just R again to get rid of it? Either way, Frogger is coming under a lot of damage from Sion. Look at that attack speed. Look at how quickly he is just going through the motions. But Peke takes a lot of damage from Kurt, does pop the ultimate on towards himself. Can Soaz be man enough to take on 4 players? I don't think it's likely. He is being CC'd out of his zone there. And that's one of the good things about playing at Sion is, yes, he has Cannibalized, yes, he is very scary, but if you just CC him and he can't attack you, he can't get his life back. It's pretty much that simple. They're trying to bait for Cyanide to actually pick up the pace and get on towards Kirk. Peke, is he able to survive this? Yes, he is. Gets back towards his tower. Good guy Cyanide coming in and saving his teammates. And now the hunter's become the hunted as Candy Panda is going to be cutting through players left, right, and center. But you are going to have Skarner taking down that kill onto Ezreal. So that was a 1-for-2 exchange. Oh my god, and Rated nearly got one shot.
That was so disgusting. And he just, ow! It's just like, it's just a team fight being fought by Freljord, throwing spears from everywhere. Ow!
Oh man!
Once again, it's just like, and now they're probably going to follow up with that Shirelles being popped. Boomerang Blade comes down, he's taking a huge amount of damage, looking for more spears to follow up, needs to get around those minions. Leah from Korea initiating Zenith Blade straight into that Shield of Daybreak, looking to lock them down with the Eclipse as well, increasing that resistance, but now they're turning around, and there's the spear picking up the kill onto Candy Panda. That'll be a 1-for-0 trade in that small skirmish, and they are quite happy with that and will be backing off.
Man, I need a shower, I feel dirty after seeing the javelins. That is just disgusting. That was a beautiful javelin at the end, though. You have to give props to Freljord for managing to land it onto Candy Panda. And as you said before, it's all well and good having a spell shield, but it has quite a large cooldown. So if you do pop that, javelin is only a matter of seconds before that's able to be utilized again. That's kind of what we saw. Poke, poke, poke. Alistair and Leona come in, both landing nice CC chain together. And eventually Candy Panda did get taken down. But after it's all said and done, 7k gold difference and 4 tower difference in favor of Fnatic. So alternate, all the good play they just did, they're still a long way behind.
Yeah, definitely. That being said, like, we do have Freljord doing fairly well, but in those poke situations where you are on those, we are chasing after them, or even running away, like, he's unloading a lot of damage, and he's super accurate with those spears as well. Yeah, that could be the game turner. I'm not entirely sure how it's going to turn out, but definitely we saw the strength of Freljord on that Nidalee, and potentially something that we haven't seen a lot, and honestly something that I doubt Fnatic really has much experience against, so it's very difficult to adapt against something that is completely out of the blue. So maybe they will adapt to it later on in the game, but what can you really do against those spears, chunking what is literally 80% of N-rated HP off every single max range spear? It's pretty disgusting.
Well, one of the beauties of Alternate's lineup, though, is that they have 2 very strong champions who are good at counter-engaging. So, let's say, for example, there's a lot of single-target nuking capability here for Fnatic. You've got Skarner's Impale. Obviously, Sion is AD, so he's just going to be smashing away somebody with his axe. But as soon as Impale is utilized, or as soon as a Cryptic Gaze comes in, instantly, Alistair and Leona can just go crazy. Alistair can flash in Pulverize Headbutt. Leona can land the Solar Flare, jump in there as well with the Shield of Daybreak. So they have nice ways of actually countering those engages. It's just that we haven't really seen a lot of all-out 5v5s thus far. It's kind of been just a player getting picked off here, player getting picked off there, and of course with these compositions, that is only going to favour Fnatic.
Definitely, but that being said, in these siege situations, we do have Nilly just chucking those spears at Fnatic's lineup. That being said, Scotland's doing a good job of kind of face tanking them, and he's really not taking too much damage. They do have some spammable shields as well, keeping themselves alive in these against this onslaught from Nilly. Ow! Talking about spammable shields, how about that, Soaz? But right now, they are just sieging away. We might see a team fight, but honestly, right now, Fnatic will probably come out ahead in the team fight, but it's all about getting that CC onto those high priority targets, that being Candy Panda and Soaz, and getting the right balance so they can get a mix between both of them, so they can keep them both suppressed. And it's very difficult to do when you have Soaz on your carries, just chunking away at them with the lifesteal as well, and then Candy Panda just at the back throwing boomerangs all day.
Yeah, and one of the other things that I've just noted, obviously they're going to go for Drake here, but it's going to be free. I'm not expecting anything serious to happen. But you do have an Atmars and Paler on Sion. Now, it does make sense, because his Enrage is going to give him... actually, it's going to give him health whenever he gets a kill with CS. So he is going to be gradually building up health points, which is going to therefore go into Atmars and Paler. He wants a lot of crit because obviously he has his Phantom Dance already, and Sion is just all about getting in there and doing as much damage as he possibly can. So it makes a lot of sense, but his CS is quite low compared to what I think he'd want it to be at this point. He wants more health.
Yeah, definitely, and this could be the engage here. Solar Flare comes down, knocking up the rest of the enemy team. Leo from Korea coming in, Stranglethorns comes down as well, also looking to follow up. Exhaust goes onto Candy Panda, looking for Sound just to chunk everyone down. He's focusing Irelia though. We do have some more CC coming in from Enerrated. Mesmerx to the side, being ripped apart by Candy Panda. Boomerang Blade comes out, looking to follow up onto the rest of the team. Soa's still in there, just chunking away. Look at the regen from Cannibalism, keeping himself alive, going down to about 5% HP, and now he's back up to about 50. Kurt being just tagged by the Boomerang Blade, and Soaz is back to 100% HP as they move on to this middle inhibitor turret.
But that's the strength of this Sivir Sion combination though, Paul, because have a look, On the Hunt will give 60% attack speed increase, and Cannibalize will give 50% attack speed for however long. How long is it again? Let me just have a quick check.
20 seconds.
20 seconds. So that's so much attack speed that is just utilized and given to your team. It's incredible. And he has the Wriggles Lantern here. He has a Phantom Dancer as well. So he's just so strong right at this point. It's so difficult. They managed to get a few CCs off on him, but even then, if you're focusing onto Soaz, that allows Candy Panda, who has a Bloodthirster and a Phantom Dancer, just to run around killing everybody without any problems whatsoever.
Yeah, the thing with Sion at the moment is just he's like chunking everyone down, and it's like, okay, you can focus him, but if you're going to focus him, you have to commit. You have to make sure he dies, otherwise he'll just keep on regenning. And they did take him down, as I was just talking in that team fight, like 5% HP, and he was just regenning. Like every single attack was bringing him up by like 20% per hit. It was ridiculous. And Eneration could potentially get caught here. Great grasping roots though, should counter-initiate into the slow plant as well, so he should be good to go. But it's just, what can you do? And then, finally, if you do chunk him down, hello to Xpeke's Chrono Shift.
Exactly, and he'll just come right back up again, waving his axe around like a madman. So there's very little that they can do at this point. It's about whether Alternate can engage that perfect time. Maybe catch a player out like they're about to do onto Soaz, who was a bit too far out from the rest of his team. They are going to go really, really aggressive here, completely understandably, but they're not able to burst him down quick enough, and in doing so they actually popped off both Solo Flare and True Shot Barrage. The two big ultimates are out the equation, and now you are going to have the counter engage from Fnatic. Soaz taking point here with his Cannibalize, going to be able to just take back that health very, very quickly. They are focusing on Frog. We are going to have the Impel used there from Skarner on towards Metlex, who explodes in a heartbeat, and Leona as well, and this is looking like it has GG written all over it. There is so little that Alternate can do. Ezreal is out of the equation. He has a big part of the damage that comes from Alternate. They are going to pick up that kill on towards Irelia, and that's going to be the GG pulse. It all came down to one engage at the end.
Yeah, and they're just looking to mop up here as the 1-2 combo from Frogget comes in. And look at the damage from Soaz. Ah, it burns. And he's just regenning. You know he's regenning so much from that. And he's like full HP as well. It's like, what can you do against that as the Nexus will fall? It's just, it is disgusting. When Sion gets rolling, especially with that composition, it is ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, and especially when you have Sion soaking up a lot of damage, he's absorbing it all alongside Skarner. again, just going back to the point we made before, it allows Candy Panda to be able to pretty much run around with full HP and be just fine. It allows Peke to be spamming up time bombs, to be slowing down important targets on the opposite team, and to obviously utilize his ultimate to its fullest potential. It's incredibly strong because when you have Sion, who's doing this much damage and is able to just regen so easily, you really have it in the back of your mind. We have to take him out. We just have to take him out, whatever we can do to do so. And that's kind of what happened at the end there. They saw him out of position, or at least they thought he was out of position. They popped a Reverie, they popped Solar Flare, and True Shot Barrage to try and take down Sion. It didn't work. And without those three things, you felt it was pretty much game, set, and match from that point on. That's exactly what happened. So it's so scary to play against a Sion like this.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like he had a snowbally lane either. It was pretty even, if not behind, because we were just commenting on the CS that he was having, but it was just enough that he could just not care. And when you have a Sion who's dishing out the damage, has the regen, has the tankiness, it's just like, well, what can you do about it? He is quite literally a raid boss, and there was nothing really that Alternate had in that arsenal to take him down. Like, they had the poke from Lord, but, well, he just had constant regen. They get onto their team fight, and then what? What do you do?
Absolutely. So obviously, Fnatic did come from behind. They were 1-0 down, but they came back to take it 2-1. Congratulations to them. They'll have €1,000 waiting for them. And I think that's going to conclude our coverage of tonight, Pulse. Anything else that you want to say?
I believe it will. And apparently, well, at least one of our mics is sounds like we're eating it.
We're eating it?
Oh, I'm not entirely sure how that's happened, but I am indeed not eating my microphone at the moment.
And neither am I. So
yeah.
You didn't sound like you were, so I assume that may have been me then. Apologies if I'm eating my mic.
I didn't hear it. Interesting.
Either way, guys, that is going to conclude tonight's coverage. Is there any websites they should go and check out, Pulse? Because obviously I came in for the finals here. I'm not sure what to advertise.
Well, definitely you should go ahead and the 4PL website. We will have a Counter-Strike tournament tomorrow. €700 up for grabs if you want to go ahead and check that out. If you want to check out the 4PL Facebook as well, which is facebook.com/4pl.lol. And I guess we should probably talk about ourselves. So, Metas, you have joined in at the for a couple of games at the end, helping me out here as I was all by my lonesome. So how can everyone watching check you out?
If you would like to check me out, that would be awesome. It's facebook.com/MetasTV. I'm thinking of getting back into casting fairly regularly again. I was a few months ago, but haven't for a while. And Pulse, what's yours?
It is facebook.com/watchyourpulse, same as my YouTube.
Alrighty, well that's going to conclude today's coverage, guys. Hope you've enjoyed. Until next time, see you later.
See you soon.